After asking the community their thoughts, this subject seems to be a bit divisive. In this video, I'm going to break down the facts and let you all know once and for all what the difference is between the two and whether it's worth spending thousands of dollars on a CD player. Before we get into the meat and potatoes, I wanted to let you all know that the CD's 40th anniversary is this year in October, in fact. So to celebrate, I designed an exclusive Audio Arkitekts 40th anniversary CD t-shirt. I'm actually wearing it today. If you want to support the channel and show off your love for CDs, head down to the description below where I've provided the link to not only the shirt, but my online shop where you can check out all sorts of other hi-fi gear. So you want to know the difference between a cheap and an expensive CD player, right? Well, some of you here think you may already know the answer and are just watching to make sure I align with your opinion. I'm sure we'll see each other in the comments section below. This won't take long since the answer is quite simple. In my opinion, the transport itself is immaterial. Most manufacturers are using the same mechanisms because they aren't making their own. And the companies still making them are very, very few and far between. Many manufacturers are using new old stock, in fact. That's literally how much effort the industry is putting into innovating the CD player. It's really sad because I'm a huge CD fan. Suppose the mechanism can read the bits on the disc and doesn't have loads of mechanical noise or radiated electrical or electromagnetic interference noise. In that case, the data will come off the disc and you're set. Simple. I don't know of a single player or DAC today that doesn't reclock the data. The debate over jitter in the data stream for low-end transports isn't relevant. It's just not an issue anymore. Most jitter itself is well beyond inaudibility. The clock from the transport is unrelated as the data is buffered and reclocked into the DAC stage. So jitter in the transport is irrelevant unless it's moving bits from one word to another. The DAC stage though, that will make a difference, predominantly in terms of SYNAD performance, which is signal to noise and distortion. Better DACs will have superior values. Additionally, output voltage and capacity are important. A DAC with a 0.5 VRMS max output may not drive your preamp hard enough, so you must turn it up a lot more, which can amplify noise in the preamp. More input level is genuinely better. 2 VRMS output would be what I would shoot for. So when shopping for a DAC, this is something to look for. Now, the Hollow May DAC I am using, for example, runs at almost 6 VRMS through XLR, which needs a preamp that can handle that type of output. You also have to be careful your DAC isn't running into your amp guns blazing, because this caused immense amounts of distortion when I connected it directly to my Cambridge Evo 150. It was a disaster. If you aren't using an external DAC and are just connecting the CD player via RCA cables to your preamp or amp, this is where you need to make sure that the manufacturer used a good DAC and has a well-engineered analog output stage. I've actually seen some players with separate power supplies for the analog and digital output stages, which is helpful in the reduction of any nasty noise caused by electrical interference. So overall, higher end players tend to sound better because they have better DACs and supporting power supply and output stages. Still, the transport itself is pedestrian and of little concern. But at what point is high-end too high-end? And you reach the point where you're just paying for a fancy, expensive case and the internals are the same, just sprinkled with marketing fluff to make it seem like you are getting a superior product. As marketing teams evolve in this industry, unfortunately, they are getting seemingly better at convincing people that their product is superior because of this and that and the other thing. Now, is this permission to go out and buy a cheap $20 player and use it as a transport? If your heart wills it. But I would find something you're comfortable with, like the way it looks, and enjoy the sound it produces. If you're using it as a player and not a transport, then you may want to spend a bit more time researching the internals of the player. To be honest, I have an old Magnavox with a TDA 1541 DAC that will probably dance circles around most newer players' analog output stages, and I picked it up for around $125. However, with vintage, you also have to consider survivability. These old CD players are pushing 40 years old. That's a relic honestly, 40 years is a relic in the world of electronics and technology, but it works. Whatever you choose to do, I hope you now have the information you need to make a well-educated decision. And as always, you should enjoy the music and just trust your ears. Thank you all for joining me. If you're already subscribed, your support is greatly appreciated. If you are new to Audio Arkitekts and like it so far, I encourage you to check out some of my other videos and content to see if my channel and my vibe is the right fit for you. And I would love for you to hit that thumbs up and end up subscribing and joining me on my travels in hi-fi. Thank you again for spending some time with me, and we'll see you very soon.